I'm in love! I'm in love! Yippee! Xenu? I do my own stuff! Welcome to the Cruising Altitude Podcast, a podcast dedicated entirely to the filmography of Tom Cruise. I'm your host, Blake, but you may also know me as Smokey's Videos, and this here is my co-host, Saul.
Hi.
So, this month of March, we are discussing A Few Good Men from 1992, the famous courtroom drama that everyone quotes, but I feel like most of them haven't seen it. I know I didn't before I watched this.
Same.
How you been since last episode?
Pretty good.
How do you feel after you've watched this compared to Far and Away?
Like Night and Day. Oh, that rhymed.
I think that's also a Tom Cruise movie.
Night and Day?
I think so. It's something like that. Like what is it? It's like isn't it, this husband and wife, but they're spies for opposing agencies or something, and they don't know it?
What was that one movie called? Fuck. Shit. I can't think of it. It's like, I don't think it's with Tom Cruise, but it's with Angelina Jolie, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I
think it's like the title is their last names, Mr. and Mrs. something.
Fight. Hello, we're Mr. and Mrs. Fight. I have been pretty good. I was sick all last week.
Nice.
So I'm kind of glad that we didn't record last week because I would have.
Coronavirus?
Yeah, I had the coronavirus, which I'll talk about later. Luckily, I got over it.
Nice.
I picked myself up by my bootstraps. Anyway, we're here to discuss A Few Good Men from 1992. As always, Saul, I have 4 fun facts, but the new thing I've started doing is making one of them up and letting you guess which one is fake. So are you ready to hear some factoids?
I'm ready.
Tom Cruise originally agreed to provide the voice of Captain Planet. He backed out at the last second for unknown reasons. He doesn't believe in the planet.
The church wouldn't allow it.
Fact number 2. For his role in The Last Samurai, Cruise spent 18 months living in the rural Japanese village Shirakawa. Have you ever seen Last Samurai? It's not very good. It's that everyone's favorite trope of a white man comes around and saves everybody. But it does have Tom Cruise dressed up like a little samurai. And I think didn't I have a fact where like he almost got stabbed or something on the set of this movie? In 1988, Tom Cruise was the first actor to star in both the Oscar winner for Best Picture and the Razzie winner for Worst Picture, with Rain Man and Cocktail.
I can buy that, to be honest.
And finally, in 2010, Tom Cruise taught High School Musical breakout star Zac Efron how to ride a motorcycle. Saul, which fact is fake?
I don't know why I think that last one is real. I'm gonna say the fake one is The Last Samurai, where he spent 18 months.
Saul, you are correct.
Okay.
He did. Tom Cruise did teach Zac Efron how to ride a motorcycle. And I read an article, and there's an interview with Zac Efron, and he was like, yeah, he just invited me over to his house to learn how to ride a motorcycle. And the interviewer's like, why? And Zac Efron goes, I don't know, he just did.
just like 3 in the morning. He gets a text.
He doesn't know who it's
Zach.
from.
He's like, "Hey Zach, hello? Who is this? How'd you get my number?"
It's me, Tommy, from across the street.
They live in the same neighborhood.
You want to come over and learn how to ride a motorcycle? I got a whole garage full of them.
And now every time Zac Efron steps off a motorcycle, he has to do a backflip.
Oh, just like in The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Saul, I think you're 2 for 1.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna get you, you son of a bitch. All right, let's move on to a few good men facts. Oh, I should have had facts just about men in general. Here's the little synopsis from IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
Military lawyer Lieutenant Daniel Kaffee defends Marines accused of murder. They contend they were acting under orders. These are really boring.
Yeah. They're all like... But to be fair, in this movie, it's not bad, but nothing happens. Other than, like... The whole thing is the trial.
Yeah.
That's it. So you can't really, like...
And seeing the breakdown of one Marine and sort of a breakdown of another Marine.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Nicholson just being an insane man. He's like 88. And he's still just walking around Hollywood like, hey, what's up?
I hope to be that energetic when I'm that age.
Do a lot of coke. This film had a budget of $33 to $40 million. And would you like to guess how much it made back? Or what its box office was?
Yes, but first, why is there like that wide of a range? Did they lose some of it?
Well, I was gonna say it was the fire, but I don't think there were any fires in this film. Unlike every other Tom Cruise movie. It's because
a fight. Like a straight up brawl?
No, there wasn't.
There were so many times I thought someone was gonna get punched, and it never happened.
There was almost a fight.
Yeah.
But it was stopped. Maybe it's because they actually murdered a man and they had to pay off his family.
Yeah, true.
It's like in the in Days of Thunder when they're on the beach and they put out bird seed to attract the birds. They just started killing birds. Except they killed an actual man.
Dressed as a bird.
They're like, how does this keep happening? Any guesses for the box office return?
58.3 million.
No.
Not even close?
No.
Oh, no.
$243.2 million.
Okay, I thought you were going to say...
Did you say billion?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Did he say billion? A Few Good Men's the first movie to get over $10 billion in the theater.
Hell yeah.
Eat your heart out, Avengers Endgame. And I think Captain Marvel. Written by Aaron Sorkin, directed by Rob Reiner, starring Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon, Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Pollak, and Tom Cruise. It was weird seeing Kevin Bacon in this movie. I don't like how off-putting young Kevin Bacon is.
Is he the dude with glasses?
No, he plays, he's Jack, I think his name was. He's the other, lawyer on, he's the prosecutor lawyer.
Oh,
he's the one who's shooting hoops all the time.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's very off-putting, young Kevin Bacon. It's just he has such a
weird
scrunched up
vibes.
face and like long head.
Like he has a permanent Snapchat filter on. Oh, but then if you use a Snapchat filter...
It turns to normal. That's fucked up, Saul. You're a terrible person.
I know.
You're like Jack Nicholson. You should go as Halloween as Jack Nicholson in this movie, but like make the little courtroom set all around you.
Oh no, just like wheel around, just with the whole thing.
Yeah. Here's some facts about A Few Good Men. Jack Nicholson repeated his famous courtroom monologue as Colonel Jessep off camera several times, so Rob Reiner could film the reactions of other actors and actresses from various angles. I feel like that's really unneeded if they're actors.
Yeah.
Nicholson's memorable on-camera performance was filmed last, but according to Reiner and the other cast members, Nicholson gave it his all every take as if he was on camera. Nicholson said... Nicholson... Look at this graph! Nicholson said he was quite spent by the time he finished. Because he was jerking off.
Oh, no.
That's why he had to be off camera.
That's why he was always like on in a table sitting down or something.
You can't see it, but they they had to recreate his whole body using CGI because he kept jacking off.
They like finished filming for the day. He's like, "All right, you can get up, dude. Now let's go." And he's like, just give me a minute."
Yeah, just look away. Don't look at me. Give me some tissue.
I can't stand up yet.
Tom Cruise's Jack Nicholson impression, when his character is quoting Colonel Jessep, was not scripted. Demi Moore and Kevin Pollak's reactions are genuine. It was a good impression of him.
Oh yeah.
He was like talking like this, like Jack Nicholson. Oh man, here's an idea for you, Hollywood. Tom Cruise plays a up-and-coming...
Cocktail.
Just a drink.
And then you're going to say he has a mentor, which is The Color of Money. And
yeah, that's basically the movie I was going to suggest now that I think about it. Except this time he's an impressionist.
Oh.
I think it was like Dolly Parton or someone who entered a Dolly Parton like lookalike competition and lost.
There's one I saw with Adele too, and people like some of the ladies were like, "Oh, she's pretty good, but I think like her singing is a little off."
The original. Okay, so most Tom Cruise movies that we've talked about in the past have been based off of books and novels. This was based off a play.
Ooh.
So imagine seeing this in the theater. Are you imagining it?
Has Tom Cruise ever been in a play?
No.
Do you think he would if I asked him?
Yes. Tweet at him right now.
He's like, hey,
everyone listening.
Old ass movie.
Do you think you and Jackie Earl Haley could get back and do a Broadway show of Losing It?
Oh no.
Everyone who's listening to this, please go tweet at Tom Cruise. That's his Twitter. Mr. Tom Cruise, please star in a Broadway showing or any theater performance. And then add us as well at Cruising Podcast so he knows who did it. Anyway, the original play was inspired by an actual code red at Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, shit.
Lance Corporal David Cox and 9 other enlisted men tied up a fellow Marine and severely beat him for snitching to a naval criminal investigative service. Cox was acquitted and honorably discharged. In 1994, David Cox mysteriously vanished and his bullet-ridden body was found 3 months later. His murder remains unsolved. Oh my god.
Jesus.
That is... I didn't read this through. I was not expecting that. Holy fuck. I thought it was going to be about how the writer's sister was, like, in the military or something, and, like, that's where he got all of his ideas from. But no, this man was murdered, and no one knows who did it.
Maybe it was a suicide, you know.
He shot himself 45 times, and then threw himself into a ditch. This is a suicide. How did he shoot himself 5 times in the back of the head? Jack Nicholson... Oh my god. Jack Nicholson was paid $5 million for 10 days of work.
So that's where all the budget was spent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Paying everyone.
Technically, he worked an extra morning for free when Rob Reiner and the crew didn't get all of his footage shot in time. Nicholson later admitted that it was one of the few times the money was well spent. What?
What did he spend it on?
Does that mean well spent on him? We need to... Everybody tweet at Jack Nicholson asking him what he means by that.
Not even like putting context and just like, what did you mean by that? And he's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck are they talking about? I'm an 88-year-old man. Jason Alexander, do you know who that is? He played George Costanza in Seinfeld. He's a short, bald man. Uh-oh. My computer monitor turned off. Let's see if it's still recording. I think we're good. He was originally supposed to play Sam Weinberg, who was Tom Cruise's buddy, his fellow lawyer. But when Seinfeld was unexpectedly renewed, he was no longer available.
Thank God. I mean...
I want Jason Alexander to be Doc Ock.
Like when they go into the courtroom, you just hear. Oh no! When they put the colonel, or what's his name? Is he
Jessep?
Colonel?
Colonel Jessep.
When they put him under arrest, and they just start playing that.
It ends with Jerry Seinfeld doing his stand-up bit.
The entire movie was just like a little
a joke.
Bit.
Oh, I wish we could visit the reality where that happened. Jack Nicholson only appeared in 4 scenes in the entire film. The last of these is his famous "You Can't Handle the Truth" courtroom meltdown, which lasts for 21 minutes.
Really?
Apparently. That's what IMDb says, so I assume it's all true.
Yeah.
I believe everything I read on the internet. One of several movies where Kevin Bacon has played a character who's been named Jack. This just seems like lazy writing.
Yeah.
In Frost/Nixon in 2008, he plays Jack Brennan. In My Dog Skip from 2000, he plays Jack Morris. In Apollo 13, this bothers me that it's reverse chronological order. In Apollo 13, 1995, he plays Jack Swigert. And in this film, he plays Jack Ross. And in Quicksilver, 1986, he plays Jack Casey. And in Friday the 13th, 1980, he plays Jack.
Just Jack.
Yeah, just Jack.
It's the original Jack.
The artist formerly known as Jack. Most television broadcasts of the film edit out the scene where Lieutenant Colonel Markinson puts the gun in his mouth and kills himself due to the strong nature of the scene.
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
I was expecting it just to, like, cut away to, like, the window or something, and then like a bam flash.
I didn't even realize what he was doing until he took the gun. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I thought he was just like getting ready for like the little court thing.
Oh,
even though I don't.
He said he didn't want to. And he probably legally couldn't.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all the facts I have. Are you ready to get into the discussion of the film?
Yeah.
Okay. First note I have is Castle Rock Entertainment, which is Castle Rock is like this fictitious town in Stephen King novels.
Ooh.
And this is because Rob Reiner directed a Stephen King adaptation. I don't remember which one, but it was very successful. Maybe it was Carrie. Probably not.
The Shining, because it had Jack Nicholson.
It might have been. But he's like, this movie did no, The Shining was fucking Stanley Kubrick. Rob Reiner did the TV adaptation of The Shining. Did you know about that?
Really?
Stephen King hates the Kubrick version, so he authorized and helped make a TV adaptation that was more closer to the book.
Huh, that's cool.
It's not very well received.
Oh. Too much filler.
Yeah, probably. It's too much jerking off. That's coming from Jack Nicholson's movie. I don't like that. We've just deduced, apparently, that Jack Nicholson just masturbates in every film he's in.
That's how he gets in character.
Anyway, film starts off in good old Guantanamo Bay. Everybody's favorite vacation resort.
Oh, you've been there.
Uh-huh.
How's the weather?
It's ball crushing. I couldn't really tell because I had a black bag over my head the whole time.
Nice.
So the film, it opens up on the military base in Guantanamo Bay. You thought I was going to drop my phone. 2 Marines break into a 3rd Marine's bedroom, tie him up, and I thought it was going to be like a hazing or something where like they beat him with like a sock full of soap or coins. No. What is it, Saul?
They just like stuff a what was it, like a towel?
Yeah, it's like a rag or something.
Like down his throat and then duct tape it shut. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're gonna kill him. And they did. I was worried it was gonna go, I don't know if that's darker or maybe just a different type of dark, but like I thought they were gonna rape him.
Me too.
I was like, this is not the opening scene I was expecting.
I had either rape or murder.
Or both.
We don't know. For some reason my next note is all caps. This isn't a man, that's a woman.
What?
I think it has something to do with Lieutenant Galloway.
Oh.
It's Demi Moore, who's like the only woman in the whole movie. She goes in.
There's so much sexism like against her, and not even just from the colonel, from that other dude.
Yeah, from every project.
Yeah, for literally everyone.
Like she goes to a meeting with these military heads, and like he's like, Lieutenant Galloway, step outside. The men need to talk.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna talk shit about you, so you can't be here.
At least she didn't get sexually harassed and molested like most women in the armed forces.
Yeah.
Well, could have happened off screen. So we're introduced to Lieutenant Galloway, and we learned that the soldiers killed a man to stop, what is the guy's name? Is it like Santiago or something?
Yeah.
The guy who died, his name is Santiago. He was going to finger them for shooting through the fence at Cuban Cuban soldiers or something.
Yeah.
So one of the Marines, he discharged his rifle, and it went through the fence and into Cuban territory, which I feel like could start a global conflict.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's freaking the hell out, and this is the basis of the courtroom scene, of the court session and everything. They're going to trial for this. Well, they're going to trial for murdering a man, but the reason they murdered him was because he was gonna...
Tattle. Yeah,
he was gonna rat out. Tom Cruise playing some baseball. He loves baseball, that man.
Every movie, he has to have, like, something he does. If it's not baseball, it's like, what was it last time?
It's eating chocolate cake and watching cartoons.
Oh, last time it was just fighting.
Before that, it was...
Days of Thunder. What did he do there? I guess...
Yes, racing.
Racing, that counts, yeah. His outlet.
Let's look at the list. Legend. What did he... He was... a forest boy. Top Gun, flying, because it's just Days of Thunder. Risky Business.
Top Gun was motorcycle riding.
That's... Yes. Yes. Risky Business, he...
Committing crime.
Yeah. I just want my egg back.
Oh, yeah.
Rain Man, he's a terrible car salesman who tries to rip people off or something.
Oh, right.
Did you ever watch that one?
I hated his character so
He's
much.
such an asshole.
He is.
Endless Love, he's an arsonist.
And, what's it called? Sex addict.
That wasn't him, though. That was David.
Oh, right, that was David.
David, porn name.
Axelrod.
Axelrod, there you go.
I only remember because you said a porn name.
But yeah, Tom Cruise, he needs a fidget spinner.
I feel like you would like those in real life.
Or the fidget cube.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Tom Cruise, he loves baseball. He's always batting away. He's also a terrible lawyer, apparently, because he's a slacker. But we learn, hey, he's not a terrible person. He just has to apply himself.
That's my response at that, because
it happens in every movie.
And because this time it's like people's lives are at stake.
Yeah. He's like, okay, here's what we do. You plead guilty.
I'm like, what? I didn't even do anything. This is a parking ticket.
He's at the wrong person. He's like, oh wait, who are you? He plays Lieutenant Kaffee. Give me some Kaffee. Pack the cat in the yard.
Anytime I hear lieutenant, I just think Dan as the next word.
Dan, ice cream. Dan, you ain't got no legs.
I mean, that one dude might as well have been Forrest Gump.
Which one? The one with the lisp or the white guy?
The white guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, the dude had a lisp?
Yeah. You didn't notice?
Did he have a tattoo on his face?
So there's a conference room meeting with some lawyers, and I noticed some bad editing.
Really?
Yes, so
they forgot to take out the coffee mug.
They get the Starbucks cup. What happens is Weinberg, so he's looking up at the captain when he walks into the room and sits down.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking up. And then the camera cuts and he's looking back down at the notepad that he was previously writing on when the captain came into the room. Then he looks up at the captain. Then Kaffee comes in and Weinberg's head is back down on the table. Now, you're supposed to have people who watch the film explicitly to do that job. But it's like a 2-hour-long movie, so I guess who gives a shit?
Some dude's like editing at 4 in the morning. He's like, fuck it, I don't care anymore.
I don't care about continuity, goddammit. It's revealed that Dawson. Which one's Dawson? What's the other one's
name of this movie?
What year is it?
Dawson is
Dawson's Creek.
Fuck. There's a cast list on that, right?
This doesn't count as our one Google. Fuck, where is he? Dawson is the guy with the lisp, the tall black man.
Oh, right.
His name is Wolfgang Bodison? His name's Wolfgang. That's cool.
That's cool. That's a cool name.
So Dawson, he fired his weapon over the fence line and into Cuban territory, and then they poisoned Santiago. That's when it's revealed, right here.
So Downey's the white guy, right?
Yeah. He's...
That name...
He's Downey.
Yeah, there's a joke there to be made, but I won't make it.
Who says I have no responsibilities here whatsoever?
The one dude with Tom Cruise, his buddy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he's like
Tom
Cruise.
I'm just here to watch.
Kaffee's just like, come on, Sam, let's go on a crime-solving adventure. And Sam's like, oh god, I fucking okay. And yeah, that's right. And then they go to see Galloway, and Kaffee introduces himself as he's chomping down on an apple. And Weinberg's like, I have no responsibilities whatsoever. Just ignore me.
She's like, what the fuck? This is who they gave me?
We learn that Kaffee has been out of law school for just over a year, and that he's also successfully plea bargained 44 cases.
Hell yeah. What was it, like 45 and he gets steak knives?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Galloway shows them these letters that Santiago wrote asking to be transferred out of Gitmo, and eventually in his last letter he asked for a transfer in exchange for information on the shooting. Kaffee is a terrible lawyer is my next note. What do they do in the office? I don't think Kaffee really does a whole lot other than biting on an apple. And pissing off Galloway.
Yeah, she just like basically explains what they're gonna do,
and he's not paying any attention because
Yeah,
she's like, what did I just say?
Yeah. And she just can tell he isn't taking it seriously or doesn't even know a lot of the terms.
He's handing everything to Sam.
She has her work cut out for her.
What does she do? Because she is defending Dawson and Downey, right?
Yeah.
I was confused about what her role was until, like, the courtroom scene. I was like, is she with them or against them?
No, yeah, she's with them.
She sure doesn't want to be. So they leave. Okay, did you notice this when they leave Galloway's office and, like, Kaffee leaves first and Sam's, like, still talking to her? and he walks out the door and turns left down the hallway, and then immediately he starts walking the other way because he turned the wrong way.
That might have just been like an IRL error, but I feel like it could kind of fit his character.
Yeah.
He's like, oh wait.
It's just a wall right there.
You just hear
Ow. Oh, and then it's Jack Nicholson. So it cuts to Lieutenant Jessep's office in Guantanamo Bay, and he is talking to Markinson and Kendrick, whatever.
Lamar.
Yeah, he's talking to Kendrick Lamar.
I feel like that scene could have been like preceded by what is it? It's like a super villain like thing in that's in a swamp.
Oh, and then like the League of Doom.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
at the Legion of Doom.
There we go.
So Jessep is talking to Kendrick Lamar and his second in command, Markinson, and they're. I think is it a flashback? It's a flashback, right?
Yeah, because they. That
Isn't there like
alive.
yeah? There's a there's like a voiceover of Santiago. It's like him reading the letters that he's sending, and then it cuts to Jessep going through his mail and finding out, and they're like, "What the fuck are we gonna do about Santiago? Damn it!"
Do they like when someone sends mail? Does it get read?
I guess so.
Because I feel like he probably should have been a little more subtle about that if he knew that they were gonna read it.
Maybe he didn't think. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder like how normal it is. Because maybe it's not a normal thing, but they just fucking do it at Guantanamo Bay because they're all assholes.
Yeah. He should have used emojis instead.
Invisible ink emojis.
Oh shit.
Markinson's like, fuck, who cares? Just transfer him.
Yeah,
Like, this isn't a
this
big
whole thing
deal.
could have been avoided.
But Jessep, what does he say, Saul?
No.
He's like, no, we're not going to transfer him. Kendrick Lamar, you're going to work him into a fitting Marine or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
then he dies.
Yeah. What did they say? What did he, Oh, and then I think Jessep goes on this crazy spiel, and he's like, we're in the business of saving lives.
Yeah.
Like some crazy madman. And it's like, you're in a fucking little shitty military base surrounded by Cubans. What are you really doing down there that wouldn't happen anywhere else?
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of view? It's not like, I don't know. I don't want to get political here, Saul. Let's see.
You hungry?
Yes, I am. Oh, here's a good note I have. Jessep is who David Shawn would have been if he hadn't died.
Oh shit.
Do you remember who that is?
No, I don't.
It was Tom Cruise's character in Taps.
Oh. Ooh. I don't know if that...
No?
No. I feel like Jack Nicholson does it way better.
No, that's true. He's less crazy.
No, he's the right type of crazy.
He's the proper psychopath or sociopath who can hide in society.
Exactly.
So it cuts back to Galloway going back to Kaffee, who, lo and behold, is back at the baseball field.
Back at it again.
Guess who's back? Back again. Kaffee's back. Hitting some balls. And they discuss Dawson and Downey, and Galloway gets pissed off at him. I can't really remember their fucking clearly. What is their discussion that they have?
That she's like, she basically knows, she thinks she like knows what he's about, that he's just kind of like coasting through all this, that way he can just like be done with it and he doesn't really care.
And she's like, you're in the JAG Corps just to fucking, you just want to get the hell out of here.
She basically just called him a frat boy.
And then you remember Kaffee responds to her?
Fuck, I forgot.
He says, normally it takes someone hours to realize I'm not fit to handle defense.
Oh, right.
And then she goes on a very long tirade to him where she says, "But it's my feeling that if this case is handled in the same fast-footed, slick-ass, Persian bazaar manner with which you handle everything else, then something is going to be missed. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I allowed Dawson and Downey to spend any more time in prison than necessary because their attorney had predetermined the path of least resistance."
I agree.
Because, yeah. Because
it is very Persian. I'm just kidding.
You are a man of the world. Because what we haven't mentioned is that has Kaffee already visited Dawson and Downey at this point? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
He's come up with the case in his head of how it will go down, and he's like, okay, so this happens, and I say this, and then they say this, and then the court decides this, and then blah blah blah, and then fucking they'll be out in 6 months or whatever if we do a plea bargain again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has it all mapped out in his head about what he's gonna do and what's gonna happen. So he's like, "Why do I have to bother? It's all gonna happen exactly according to plan."
Like those what was it? I forgot what they're called. Like, do your own adventure books.
Oh yeah, choose your own adventure.
Yeah, there we go. Choose. That's the word.
Oh, and then after Galloway after she chastises him, he says, "I'm sexually aroused, Commander."
And then she tases him.
Yeah, she kicks him in the dick and then tases him. Galloway thinks that Downey and Dawson didn't kill anyone. We learn about Code Red and what that means. We learn about it before Kaffee learns about it.
Do you think they what year does this take place? The same as the when it was made?
So I saw something that said like the baseball game that he's watching on TV happened like in 1990 or 1991. So it happens like a year and a half before the movie was released.
Okay. Do you think was Mountain Dew?
Where are you going with this?
Isn't there a Mountain Dew flavor called Code Red?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Saul, you've uncovered something.
Like when people get hazed in the Marines, do they make them drink
They make them drink it, and then they just get 40 cases of it, just force feed them.
Shotgun them all.
That's the sort of extrajudicial punishment that Mountain Dew Code Red sponsors.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so then Kaffee and Weinberg finally visit Downey and Dawson. Dawson says that the attack on Santiago was a Code Red that they were ordered to do. Mm-hmm. And Kaffee's like, "What the fuck is that? You mean like the Mountain Dew?"
He's like, no, that hasn't been invented yet.
Kaffee asks if there was poison on the rag, and if so, did they know about it or something? Because, spoiler alert, there was poison on the rag, and that's how Santiago died.
I'll tell you what was on that rag. Justice.
Justice and Mountain Dew. Downey says that they were going to shave Santiago's head until they saw all the blood in his mouth.
Damn.
Which brings up the question, how fast acting was this poison? Did they... And assuming that they were going to shave his head, because it seemed already pretty shaved as is, did they forget to shave the razor and they had to run back, and that's why they got back and he was already bleeding to death?
They're all giggling to themselves oh, this is going to be hilarious.
Oh my god. Is that Mountain Dew? Weinberg asks Dawson why he fired across the fence line, and then he says his mirror was engaged.
He basically said they started it.
Yeah, that is exactly what he did. He's like, they started it, and then Kaffee's like, that's bullshit. What's a mirror? And then he learns what a mirror is. It's basically, for every guard on the U.S. side, there's a guard who follows them on the Cuban side. Mm-hmm. It's like in North Korea, South Korea.
That's what I thought of.
Let's see. And then, I don't know why I made a note of this, but Dawson's eye just starts twitching.
You ever get that twitch? Like a little nerve? Just
I get it when I lie about murder.
That's your tell.
Ah, my eyes twitching.
Oh, that would suck. Like if you're in court, they're like, "Did you or did you not do this?" You're like, "No."
Did you or did you not do it? Both eyes start twitching.
Like, one question at a time, please.
I just asked the same question. Have you seen Knives Out, the Rian Johnson murder mystery film?
Mm-mm.
It's really good. You should check it out. But one of the characters, she has this weird disorder where anytime she lies, she throws up.
Oh, I was gonna say, does her nose grow?
No.
Mm.
Anyway, then we realize how brainwashed these two Marines are. Because I think Dawson says... Wait, Dawson... Which one's that again?
The white dude.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wait, no. The black guy.
Okay. Whoever. One of them says that they had to train him being Santiago, to think of his unit before himself, to respect the code.
I like the little...
The lisp.
What was, like, the hierarchy?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned
God's
it,
in there
because I have it right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It goes, unit first, then the Corps, then God, and then country. So, you know, put the country at the end. The thing that you said that you'd serve.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're insane. They are two poor people who have been brainwashed, who just wanted to have something in their lives to be a part of. And that part of was Jack Nicholson being a madman.
Right.
Oh, and then I didn't realize Kevin Bacon was in this movie, so my next note is, Kevin Bacon! Kevin tells Kaffee about the meeting that the platoon commander, Kendrick Lamar, had with his unit, and he told them explicitly not to touch Santiago. And then they leave for the lovely shores of Cuba. Everybody go surfing. Kaffee brings like a surfboard along and everything. He's wearing cargo shorts and like a Hawaiian shirt.
Starts running towards the shore. That's when there's a rotten egg.
Yeah, I was gonna say he runs into the Cuban territory. So Galloway, Kaffee, and Weinberg go to Cuba. Kaffee's afraid of boats or something?
Yeah. Because he asked like the driver dude like how long it's gonna take to get there, and he's like, oh, just a short boat ride over. And he's like, wait, what? I'm not too fond of boats. And then Galloway's like, for God's sake, you're in
the Navy.
Now I'm just imagining him like being seasick the entire time.
He's seasick, but he also has a horrible fear of boats. Like, it's not that he doesn't like being on boats, he's just scared of them.
He has to have like he's
the
like
floaties.
Oh, I was gonna say like the straight jacket.
Oh.
when he's in the boat, because otherwise
he'll hurt himself.
Yeah, he'll try to turn us around.
You have to chain him down like he's a werewolf. It's like he's tried the last 3 times he's been on a boat to get to the steering wheel.
He bit my hand. That's why he has the muzzle. Oh, like isn't that
like Hannibal Lecter?
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh god. They meet Jessep, Markinson, and Kendrick Lamar. And there's a running joke that continues of Kaffee not having a pen because he's not prepared for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or so he wants you to think.
He just likes stealing pens.
We never saw him return it.
Yeah. Like that scene where he like gets his bat from the closet. You just see like little boxes full of pens. He's a hoarder.
It's like, where are all my pens? I put them in the closet with your bat. My bat! His bat's full of pens.
He names them all, but every single one's name is just his father's.
Oh jeez. What was his dad's name? Because his dad
I
was
don't
also like a lawyer or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Let's see.
His name was Mocha. Mocha Kaffee. They're from New York. Have you seen that one video? I don't know if it's a Vine, but it's like some dude with like an accent. He's like, I just made a fresh pot of coffee. Anybody want coffee? And he's like just screaming it in the gas station. Oh, my cheeks hurt.
It's all that coffee. Anyway, okay, so they get on base, they talk to Jessep real quick, and then Kendrick takes the trio on a little tour of the grounds or something, and he takes them to the platoon quarters, and he shows them Santiago's room. I like that instead of the normal police tape, it says military police tape, or military police line, do not cross. Like, they had to get that specially fucking made. They couldn't just use the regular one. Like, we have to show that we're important. My grandma, her dad was in the Air Force, and so they always, like, they lived on bases and everything around the world. She always jokes and makes fun of military police because they're just like glorified security guards.
Did you see the Mountain Dew Code Red on the pillow?
Oh my god. Galloway walks over to the pillow and it's
like,
stained red, and she's like, Code Red Mountain Dew. No one would ever let it spill.
Starts like, gets a little bottle, starts like squeezing it.
She starts wringing it out. So the three look around Santiago's room, and I think forgot his name for a second. Kaffee, he notices that the closet, all of his clothes are still in there, and there's no pens.
He's just like skulking through all the little pockets. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, sorry.
Unsurprisingly, we learn that Kendrick's also a crazy asshole.
Yeah. What the fuck? That was awful.
What does he say? He says something fucking creepy, like when they're on the tour.
He just like, fuck, I forgot like the specific question, but he basically just said that Santiago being dead is a good thing because if he were alive, like there would be more lives at stake. I'm like, okay.
It's like, I'm glad he's dead. He wasn't a real Marine.
Yeah, basically.
Then the three have a lovely little lunch with Jessep. And Jessep lies blatantly.
He looked like a mafia boss in that scene. And then like the Cuban like servant with him.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that was weird.
Yeah.
Where does that guy live? Does he live on base? Is he a soldier?
The table is also his bed.
I thought you were gonna say the table is like another man.
Oh no! It's just like four dudes doing that one square thing, the little formation when they like lean on each other.
Yeah. All right, drape a tablecloth over him. It's like, this table's really soft. And then it's clear that Markinson starts to feel guilty about this because the camera just cuts to him staring blankly at the ground.
That's the dude with the glasses?
Yeah, that's the guy who kills himself.
Oh. Right.
So Galloway starts questioning Jessep about the Code Red, and she asks if Code Reds still happen on the base. And do you remember how he responds to her inquiries?
He's like, we switched to Baja Blast a while ago. Sorry.
We no longer have Mountain Dew Code Red here, Commander. Then what was that on his pillow?
He's like sweating bullets.
I tell you, it's like that Key and Peele thing where he's sweating.
He just runs for it.
He jumps in the ocean.
What was the question?
What Jessep says after she asks him questions about the Code Red.
He's like, no.
Close. He says, if you haven't gotten a blowjob from a superior officer well, you're just letting the best in life pass you by.
Yeah, that was really
what the fuck,
sexist and creepy.
He's like, Lieutenant Kaffee, I see that Commander Galloway is your superior. You fucked her yet? And then he answers the question,
Mm-hmm.
and he says that he's like, no, I discourage code reds here. I prefer sugar-free water. I discourage soda on base.
While he's like opening a can.
Yeah. Well, but off record, he says that he fucking loves code reds, and he starts chugging all of them. A hand from underneath the table hands him a can of it. Kaffee then asks for a copy of Santiago's transfer form, and
he's like, "Fuck you,
yeah.
kneel, and I will give it to you."
Did you get what he was like? I figured when he asked for that, he's like Kaffee, and like he'd realized that Jessep's like bullshit. He's like, there's no fucking way this madman didn't tell him to kill him. Did you get that? That was like him testing him, I guess.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I study, so I haven't brought this up in a while, but I studied film.
Oh,
you see, at college, I had
really?
an intro to film course.
Nice.
So I pick up on these smaller things that the general audience might not.
Nice.
And he's like, ask me nicely, bitch.
Is he Jesse Pinkman now?
Yeah. He's Jessep Pinkman.
Oh shit. He's his granddad.
Oh my
so
god.
now, let's see. The Breaking Bad.
Yeah, in addition to every other Tom Cruise movie, because they all take place in the same universe.
Mhm.
Now we have Breaking Bad. I think at one point we said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I forgot which movie. Oh no, I want to say it was The Color of Money. I don't know why.
Was it? I don't know why we would have said that, but I remember we said it. The TCCU.
We also have X-Men. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I think
Because
so.
one of Tom Cruise's characters has like a mutant power.
Oh yeah. We have. Fuck, what was it? We have some sort of Stephen King edition because.
Jack Nicholson is
Oh yeah, I was
crazy.
gonna say because of our theory that Tom Cruise just plays this horrible creature that just influences people to do
right.
evil. Anyway, they get back. I guess they're back in America. Yeah, they're back in America. I think.
Mhm.
I was very confused if they were back or if they were like in a hotel room or something.
Yeah, I think they were back.
Anyway, Kaffee, he's watching baseball, but he can't get his mind off the case. And Galloway comes by and tells him that Markinson's gone missing. Almost immediately after they left. He snuck on the plane that they were in, like in the storage hold. He put himself in a big crate.
Taped on it like what's the thing like with glass?
Like fragile or something.
Fragile. Do not throw. Some dude just chucked it. Just hear, ow.
Oh, what was that? Did you hear something? No.
Or like Metal Gear Solid, where it's like in the little box, it's thinking around.
Oh, and she also says that she's now Downey's attorney.
Nice.
Because was it Downey's aunt or her grandma or his grandma or something that she'd been talking to and like made friends with?
Yeah, I think it was Aunt because like when they finally meet her, she's like pretty young looking.
Oh yeah.
So-
Well, according to Spider-Man,
fucking A,
you can be a 90-year-old woman. You can look like a skeleton with skins tightly wrapped around it, and you can still be an aunt.
her X-Men power, her gene is what was it? Benjamin Button syndrome.
If only she'd die. Let's see. Okay, so the two go see Downey and Dawson, and they tell them that Kendrick Lamar ordered them to give Santiago a code red, and so they went to the fridge and got a can. Then Galloway starts asking some questions, and Downey says that Kendrick came to Downey and Dawson and ordered them to... Why did I write the same thing twice?
For emphasis.
I guess so. Then they go see Kevin Bacon, and Galloway says that they're going to court because Kevin Bacon, he's like trying to be like, hey, why didn't you just do that plea deal thing you always do?
I feel like his character was... At first I thought the entire time he was going to be like an antagonist.
Yeah,
basically,
me too.
But he like kind of gives him advice to like not fuck up, but then also like while they're in court, he just like rips on them. But I guess like that's his job, so.
Yeah, also he's fucking doing his job. He's the guy who has to send the people to jail, so that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You guys are gonna lose, you dummies." And then I think Tom Cruise comes up with this plan, which is involuntary manslaughter is what they'll get. 2 years in prison at most, but they'll be home in 6 months on, I don't know, good behavior or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "That's the plan. That's what we're doing. Nothing else."
What if every time like he makes like a good point in court, like asks like a really good question and he's done, he just like showboats to Kaffee, just like, "Oh, what?"
Oh, he just turns around so the judge doesn't see. He flips him off.
Just mouths at him, "Fuck you."
He has a little flower in his lapel that he squirts him with.
He's like, "Did you see that, judge? Overruled."
Yeah, what was the judge did a lot of overruling.
Yeah.
And, like, just not giving a shit for the most part. Let's see. Dawson declines the deal because he says that they did nothing wrong and their code or whatever he's talking about, I don't really care. And then Kaffee's like, "Jesus Christ, can I fucking speak to you alone? Oh my god." And so Galloway goes into another room, and what do they talk about when they're alone? It's just Kaffee getting angry at him, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it was like probably some more bullshit about like honor.
Yeah.
But I remember that like when he was about to leave, he was like, "Aren't you supposed to like salute an officer?"
Yeah.
And he just like just
He
stands
sticks
up.
his hands in his...
Yeah. He's like, "Fuck you."
He stands up as like a little kid. He's like, puts his hands in his pockets.
He like pouts and like looks away.
He like rocks back and forth on his heels. He's like Dennis the Menace.
Oh my god. You just gave me flashbacks to those movies.
I've never seen him. I've only seen the comic. And I thank God every day that I haven't watched the films.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Kaffee, he's done with these two dopes. And he's like, "I want to get them a new counsel assigned to this case. I am done. I want to go play baseball. We got to go fight the firefighters from the next town over."
And prom's tomorrow.
Who screams, "I know the law"?
He does.
Oh, he does?
Cause
Is that when he's drunk? Or is that later?
no, that's when they're like arguing about.
Oh, yeah, because this is, the arraignment happens the next day. The arraignment happens, and Dawson and Downey will be charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and conduct unbecoming a United States Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Kaffee pleads, "Not guilty!" Dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Is that the Judge Judy theme?
It's one of those. It's like Night Court or Judge Judy or something. And then, for the first time, Kaffee starts to wonder why he of all people was assigned. Why was I born?
Why are we here? Just to suffer.
He wonders why he was assigned to a murder case, even though he's never done anything like this in the past. And he's like, "I guess the only reason I'd be assigned to this is so it never sees the light of day." So then he's like, "That's it. I'm putting aside all my little bullshit and everything, and I'm actually doing this goddamn case."
Until I struggle even a little bit and I want to give
Then
up
I'll give up.
immediately.
Then I'll get drunk and run away. So Kaffee, Weinberg, and Galloway start getting to work, and apparently they've worked for like 3 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm. Not gay.
So they have the intent, or Kaffee comes up with the intent. No one can prove poison. The code red, which is common and accepted at Guantanamo, and that Kendrick gave it, and that they had to follow the order from a superior.
He makes a good point.
Yeah. So that's what they're working with, essentially. 3 weeks later, the court-martial trial happens, and Cuba Gooding Jr. is there.
Who?
Cuba Gooding Jr. He's an actor. He was in the Snow Dog films. Remember that? With, what is it? The dog sledding films. He's in those.
Is it the one with the dentist that goes... I think it was like a Disney Channel movie.
Yes! Yeah, he's like a fucking dentist in like Miami or something.
Yeah. That one? Oh,
yeah.
that dude?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, okay, cool.
He was in a Rat Race also. I don't know if you ever saw that one. It's
Dr. Doolittle?
No, you racist.
What?
That was Eddie Murphy.
Oh. Who's that? Oh, Donkey.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cuba Gooding Jr.'s there in a bit role. Which, hey, we learned that in the first episode of the podcast. And then Kaffee and Jack interrogate the doctor who went over the Santiago's body and whatever. I don't really remember what happened.
He died. I saw his dead body.
Definitely was a dead man. That was a corpse I looked at. I looked at his dick, but who doesn't?
He's like, anyone?
No.
Any other...
He points to the jury. He's like, I know you did.
He's like, oh, you kind of look like you would. Like some old lady.
Cracks open a code red. Let's see. Weinberg gets upset for some reason and asks why Galloway oh, okay, yeah. So he's getting pissed off at Downey and Dawson. He's like, Galloway, why the fuck do you like them so much? Why are you trying so hard? And I don't really remember what she says. It's probably just they argue or something.
She says, I love a man in uniform. No, but she's like, because like they defend like the walls and something like that.
Oh yeah, that was a dumb line.
I'm like, okay, simp. Bootlicker.
God, if this was, oh my god, if this was like Days of Thunder or Top Gun or something, and Galloway and Kaffee did get together at the end, she would have either, I feel like Tom Cruise would have said, I love a girl in uniform, and then they kiss and it ends.
Yeah. I think they like kind of set the like a little foundation for them to be together later, but it's not in your face about it. It just doesn't happen like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like every single time that's what happens. Like they exchange like one little like friendly moment and now they're fucking.
Well, that's exactly where I thought it was going, because they go and get seafood
Mm-hmm.
and they're fucking smashing crabs or whatever, and they talk about markets.
Is that what the kids call it now? Smashing crabs.
Oh god. Oh my. Yes.
Where did you like the way she was eating that?
I was like, you're a monster.
With the knife, I thought she was gonna hurt herself. Like, cause that shit's sharp, right?
She starts doing the thing, like the stab between her fingers. She's not even paying attention. She's talking to him while she's doing it.
How's that go? Like, I got all my fingers.
Yeah.
Knife goes chop. Yeah. She's not even like.
Knife goes chop, 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 chop. It's like an Alien where the robot does it.
He's just like freaking out the entire time. Doesn't even want to eat.
He's just serping his code red. Okay, so what happens next? Colonel Barnes. Who the fuck was that? Who's Colonel or Corporal Barnes? I don't know who the fuck. Oh, okay.
They're all Jarheads.
I remember. Yeah. Have you ever seen Jarhead with Jake Gyllenhaal? I watched it when I was way too young to watch it. It's about the incredible uselessness and hopelessness and boredom that soldiers in the Middle East experienced when they had to go over there.
Oh.
The main scene I remember, two scenes I remember. There's a lot of jacking off in the movie, obviously.
Oh.
Well, I mean, what else are you supposed to do in the middle of the desert?
Shoot camels?
That's fucked up. Shoot them in the hump, and then go and suck the water out.
Tip camels like cows, but
camels will fuck you up. They'll fight back. Let's see who can balance a camel on their humps. Anyway, two scenes I remember from Jarhead. One, there is a scene where the Marines or soldiers, whoever, they receive a box of like a care package.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club and 4 hymns. And in it is like a bunch of VHS tapes or something. It's porn. And one of the soldiers gets out a tape and he's like, "Hey, so-and-so, this has your name on it." And so they put it in the VHS player. And it's his wife sitting there and she's like, "Hey, honey, how you doing?" "I'm fucking our neighbor." And then the neighbor walks out from the side of the camera and they just start having sex.
Oh my god. The stories were true.
And the other scene is during Christmas. There is an oil field that is lit on fire. And it's just a bunch of drunk soldiers running around. And Jake Gyllenhaal strips down to his bare ass and boots. And he's running around with a Santa hat on his dick.
Yeah, I think you're a little young to watch this movie.
Anyway, back to A Few Good Men. I was about to say Top Gun. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Corporal Barnes is he's a guy who that they just question. They bring up as a witness. The reason I made a note is because he says that his palms are sweaty.
Knees weak.
Yep, that's exactly what I wrote.
Oh, right. Where it's like...
They ask him about the code red. And...
Yeah, and usually it's for like kind of minor stuff, but that it works because he never did it again.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't dropped his weapon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, doesn't they like duct tape something to his hands?
Yeah, they put like glue on his hands and shit.
Ross... Oh, I like this scene because Ross goes and asks Barnes to... he brings up a procedure book, like of all the procedures and everything. He's like,
right.
Open to the page that talks about code reds. He's like, Sir, I can't do that. There's no page. Yeah. He's like, okay, give me that book. What about this one? He's like, there is no page about code reds, sir. It's just a thing that we know about. And Kevin Bacon's like, I rest my case. And then Kaffee walks up and he grabs the book off of Kevin Bacon's desk and he goes up to Barnes and he says, Colonel Barnes, point me to the page where you can find where the mess hall is. It's like, there is no page, sir. Oh, if there's no page, then how do you know where to go eat? Do you just starve? He's like, no, sir, I just follow what everybody else does.
Yeah.
And Kaffee's like, I rest my case.
I like that one.
That was clever. It shows that he actually is a good lawyer.
When he wants to be.
Yeah, when he wants to be. When he doesn't want to get those steak knives. And then that night... Kaffee stops by his favorite newsstand and he's just shooting the shit with the guy and then he gets back in his car.
Oh, that was fucking creepy. It would have been good if it was like he's only illuminated when there's like a thunder.
Oh my god. Who's in the back of his car, Saul?
Fuck, I forgot his name already. The dude with the glasses. Maurice?
Yeah, Maurice. Markinson's in the back of his car. And he's like, you left your door unlocked.
So I just let myself in. No, he opened the trunk and then he went through
crawled
that little
through.
hole.
That was a two-car door. That was a two-door car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he'd have to open... I assume he got in on the driver's side. Open the driver's side. Push the seat forward. Hop in the back. Pull the seat back. All while Tom Cruise is up at the newsstand.
No. It's like... He's like, your door was unlocked, but then you see, like, the window's just fucking broken.
Can you imagine what happens off camera where he's like across the street watching it? He has to sprint across, try not to get hit by traffic, and then get in as fast as he can. He's like wearing a trench coat too, so it's like getting in his way. Markinson reveals everything to Kaffee, but they say like, you're no good to us in court because none of this will work or something, blah blah blah, so I'm gonna set you up in a nice little sexy motel that we can spend the night at.
It's like, this is all so sudden.
We haven't even shared a code red. Let's see. And then later, Kaffee in the courtroom, Kaffee interrogates Kendrick Lamar, and we learn that Kendrick deprived a man of actual food.
Yeah, which is
AKA a code red. He's like, he can't have anything but Mountain Dew.
He's like, no, please. I'm diabetic.
Oh, God. What is the reason? Because, like, he's like, I didn't let him eat for 5 weeks or something. All we gave him was, like, vitamin supplements.
Oh, yeah, and water? I'm
yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't remember, but,
Was this, like... Was this after they found out that about the letter? And that's why?
I'm pretty sure it was before. It was, like, a before event.
It's because he forgot to tie his shoes once.
He forgot to tie a shoe. He didn't tie it correctly. You think code reds happen in like JROTC or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay, so then Dawson is brought up to the bench, and they talk about how he was given a bad rating on a report because he committed a crime by bringing the man who had been starved food.
Oh, yeah.
He was written up because he didn't want to watch his fellow Marines starve.
Because, you know...
And that's like, I think he said, like, that's his only, like, bad report that he ever received.
And that's what, like, stopped him from getting a new rank.
Yeah, that's right. That's what stopped him from getting fucking promoted.
For having morals. How dare you?
Yeah. Well, Saul. Unit! Core, God, country.
Oh, yes.
Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. It's there, and it's also in the God category.
Oh, like well, it's like it's there, but it's also not there at the same time. What's that thing? Like with the box.
Oh, it's like Schrodinger's Mountain Dew.
Yeah, there we go.
Schrodinger's Code Red. Let's see. The judge does a lot of sustaining.
Mm-hmm.
The Tower Chief's log, they discover, has been fixed against Kaffee and everyone. So the Tower Chief, because Jessep said that Santiago was going to be on the first plane out or something, but, like, there was no plane. So they wrote a fake log. Markinson tells him this. And then later, Markinson writes a letter. Gets dressed up in the fancy, like, Marine outfit. You know it if you've ever seen a Marine recruitment commercial.
Yeah.
Someone with, like, the white gloves and white hat. And he commits suicide. Ugh.
Yeah. Poor him.
Yeah, one of the only good people in the whole movie. Back at court, Downey is interrogated, and Ross asks him about Code Red. Okay, so it's Downey's like, oh yeah, the Jeep broke down, so we had to run back to base.
Oh yeah.
And we got there in like 45 minutes flat or something. And Ross is like, well, at this time, you said that Kendrick Lamar was giving you the Code Red order. The timelines don't match, Private!
By like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And Downey starts freaking out because he doesn't know what to do.
He has like 2 brain cells, and that's it.
And one of them's taking a nap.
One of them is busy, like, breathing.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, then Downey, I guess, reveals that he was given the Code Red order by Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck knows how true that is? Later, Galloway argues with, well, this is after the court session has been dismissed. She argues that they need to put Jessep on the stand. She argues with Kaffee and Weinberg.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kaffee gets pissed, drunk, and has an argument with them. Do you remember what the argument was about? That he argues with Galloway, what they were complaining to each other about?
Is that the part where she's like, "Oh, so now you're just gonna give up?"
I think so, yeah. Because then they start, Kaffee starts talking to Sam about his dad, his dead father.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And then he drives after her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's raining. Here, let me set the scene for you, audience. It's raining. They're at Kaffee's house. Kaffee gets drunk. He comes home. He argues with Galloway. Galloway leaves into the rain, walks home. He kind of sobers up a little bit.
Yeah, like he was good enough to drive, which is weird because I keep forgetting his name. His buddy was like right there. Sam was like a passenger when I feel like he should have been the one driving.
Sam wasn't there, was he?
Yeah, because like remember
when they drive after JoAnne Galloway?
Yeah, I saw him in the.
Oh, really?
He was in the driver's seat. He's like he finally gets her in the car. Like, yeah, you can't ride shotgun. Sam already called it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they drive after, and he's like, "Fine,
like, come on,
Galloway, I'll put Jessep on the stand."
And he's like, "Oh, okay. Let me just sit here in the rain for a little while more."
This rain's really sobering me up. Later, Kaffee says he comes up with a brilliant idea, and he walks over to Sam and Galloway, and he's like, "Sit down, both of you. Good," because they're already sitting down. What were you gonna say?
His plan is basically like, we're gonna make him tell us.
That's
it. That's your big plan.
He's like, I need to think. I need my bat. Where's my bat?
Which, it's kind of like, I think that was Galloway's idea with someone else. Like, we'll make him talk. And
yeah.
then they're like, you idiot. But now it's gonna work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because a man suggested it.
Oh, right. Of course.
So Kaffee goes and gets his bat from his pen-filled closet. And then he gets a list of all the outgoing phone calls from, I think, Guantanamo. And then he sends Sam to go to Andrews Air Force Base for some unknown reason. Court begins, and Sam hasn't shown up yet. And Kaffee calls Colonel Jessep to the stand. Jessep is interrogated by Kaffee as Sam arrives with 2 Air Force guys. Do you remember what were they gonna do? I don't remember who or what they were.
Basically, it turns out the real strategy was for them to do nothing because they knew absolutely nothing about it. But for like,
were they really for show?
Yeah, they were literally for show to intimidate Jessep into thinking that they had like.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
And I took a film class.
So that was a pretty good bait, not gonna lie.
Yeah, joke's on you, Jack Nicholson. You're not the only master baiter here.
I also play 4D chess.
So, Jessep is interrogated, and Kaffee asks, or it's brought up that Jessep ordered that Santiago not be touched, and that he ordered Markison to transfer Santiago off base.
That was a good moment too. You really got him there, like with the.
Who, Jessep got Kaffee, or the other way around?
No, Kaffee got him.
Oh, because of the the obvious lie that he calls out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the transfer order. Santiago would leave the base at 0600. And then Kaffee starts asking the colonel about what he prepared for his trip up to D.C. I don't really remember a whole lot, do you?
He just asked him, like, oh, what do you bring with you?
Yeah, what'd you prepare?
Like,
What'd you do?
Well, undies, socks. He's like,
is the colonel's underwear a matter of national security? So yeah, he's like, what'd you bring?
He's like, well, if you must know, I sleep commando. So
I only brought this suit that you see before you, a toothbrush, and a 6-pack of Code Red.
The essentials. Wallet, keys, Code Red.
I can't leave home without it. Kaffee brings to light that Santiago did not pack his bags for the flight when he died. And Jessep's like, I guess he was an early waker. Or an early riser. What am I supposed to know about the details of this man's travel life?
Literally everything, because even, like, their sleep and wake-up patterns are, like, on a strict schedule. No, the little trumpets.
Yeah.
When they wake him up.
Uh-huh. And then the slow jazz trumpet when they put him to sleep. Telephone records that Jessep made when he found out he'd be going to Washington are brought up. What is it? He calls
his sister.
He calls his sister. He calls another military officer. And he calls someone else because he's going to get, like, promoted or something to national security?
His girlfriend, whose name is Chuck.
It's short for Charlene.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Let's see. Where the fuck am I? Oh, yeah. And then, so he made at least 3 phone calls before he was leaving. Santiago, who really wanted to get the fuck out of there, made a grand total of 0 phone calls. Nothing to his friends, nothing to his family. Nothing.
Gasp.
It's almost like he was murdered. Jack Ross, Kevin Bacon's like, I object, Your Honor.
Like, set the fuck down. It's like the
you weird-faced looking motherfucker.
Everyone's just like looking.
I will hold your face in contempt of court. And then Jessep starts chuckling to himself and quickly shuts Kaffee down. And he's like, what the fuck do you think you're gonna do to me, Kaffee? I drank you for breakfast. And then Kaffee, he just is the little gerbil in his head starts spinning that wheel.
I like how you describe that. Oh, there has to be a way to, like, masks, like, a little clip of a gerbil just spinning out.
Just the whole time when he's completely silent, looking around, thinking.
Oh my god.
So he starts looking around. The judge is like, hello? Are you gonna do anything?
His pants, like, just get darker.
The judge is like, so help me God, that better be code red.
It's like, oh, sorry, sir. My can spilled. He had it open, but he put it upside down.
God damn it, Kaffee, why don't you have a standard issue can holder?
On his belt.
It's like for like a cell phone holder. So Jessep gets up to leave, and Kaffee's like, sit your ass down, I'm not done with you yet. And then
takes off his white glove.
He puts on a white glove and then takes it off. You really love the whole slapping someone with a glove to initiate a fight, don't you? You brought it up and far and away.
Oh yeah, I did. It's just so funny to me. Because, like, literally every time it happens in the movie, the dude just lets it happen. You could move away.
Well, then you're dishonorable, Saul.
Oh,
Unit,
really?
Corps, Mountain Dew, Country, Mountain Dew again. And then Jessep is just being a dickhead to the judge for seemingly no reason.
He's like, you will address me as Colonel,
oh,
Overlord,
yeah, that's right.
Master.
And the judge is like, motherfucker, you'll address me as your honor or sir.
He's like, okay.
So, here's the thing. The flight that left 7 hours earlier and landed at Andrews Air Force Base for Santiago, I guess. Well, they have some witnesses from the Air Force Base that they're gonna bring up to trial, or to the witness stand. Who will tell them that there were no flights that happened. And then Kaffee says to Jessep, if you gave the order that Santiago wasn't to be touched, and your orders, as you've said previously, are always followed by your men, Then why would Santiago be in danger? Why transfer him off base? Because he says, oh my god. Jessep says earlier in the conversation, like, Santiago was in danger, he needed to be transferred, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaffee's like, I caught you in a string of lies. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, my next note. Jessep is caught up in his lies.
Yeah, that sums it up. And that's when he, like, lets his ego get the best of him.
Would you like to reenact the scene, Saul?
Fuck, I cannot quote that shit.
I have it written down here. Who do you want to be?
I'll be Kaffee.
Okay. Here you go. Let me unplug this.
Where do I start?
Right there, the caps. That's the him, you, me, you, me.
All right.
Getting carried.
Did you order the code red?
You want answers? Fuck. So it's okay. Let me try that again. So you read the first one, then I read that, and then you read the second part. Okay.
Oh, I thought it would separate.
Oh, I'm getting a call from someone I don't recognize. Let's decline that. I don't know who that is. Okay, you ready? Let's do this again. The first time we've done it.
Did you order the code red?
Do you want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh. Did you order the code red? Again.
You're goddamn right I did. Just all of the everyone in the courtroom gasps at the same time. Someone chokes on their code. Someone does a spit take of code red.
Jessep like gasps too. He's like, "Oh wait, I knew
that." Jessep tries to leave court. He's like, "I'm done with this bullshit. You pansy motherfuckers. I did what my country needed me to do." But the military police take him into custody.
As they should.
Mm-hmm. And Ross, he's like, "Oh my god." And he stands up and starts reading the colonel his rights as the colonel's screaming at Kaffee, and he tries to attack him.
I was scared that he was gonna have a gun on him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I could have seen that happening. He just whips it out and shoots Kaffee point blank.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, and then the movie just ends.
Just like Far and Away did. Oh, wait. He comes back, huh?
Yeah.
Far and Away.
Well, we don't know how long after the movie ended that he died.
His, what was it called? His Wolverine recovery is kicked in.
Well, as we know, his dad did come back a second time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Ungi the Dingle Dolphin, remember?
Oh my god.
That's who Jessep should have been praying to. Long live Ungi. Later, after Jessep has been arrested and prepares to go on trial, the judge is like, "Oh shit, come on, let's reach a verdict. We gotta do another court session." The jury has reached a verdict on Dawson and Downey. They are found... Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
They are found not guilty on murder charges or the conspiracy to commit murder.
But
they are dishonorably discharged from the Marines and found guilty of acting unbecoming of a Marine or whatever.
By having morals.
Mm-hmm.
And, who would you say? Well, yeah.
Well, did they have morals?
Downey looked more like, just broken.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, what do I do now? And then, Dawson kind of like, obviously he was bummed out about it, but he like finally understood like that it was the right thing to do. To give him food and all that. And
all that military honor shit isn't everything. And
yeah.
I like what Kaffee tells him as they're leaving to go fill out paperwork or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Kaffee tells Dawson, you don't need to wear a patch on your arm to have honor. And then Dawson turns around and salutes him.
That was a pretty good moment.
Mm-hmm. And everybody leaves the courtroom, and Kaffee is the last person in there, and he looks around and he's like, I'm pretty fucking good at this. The end.
And then it plays the theme to Special Victims Unit.
Next week on A Few Good Men.
Oh, what if that was a show?
I was just about to say, I'm surprised they haven't made like a show of this on like for network television. So I watched this on Amazon Prime.
Me too. The one time the fucking movie's on there.
Did when the credits were playing, did anything like Amazon has like the next up film is this?
Oh, once it got to the credits, I just exited out.
Well, mine did. And the next up film that it was about to play in like 15 seconds was Shrek: The Final Chapter.
What the fuck? Why?
I don't know. It's like,
is there like
we see that you enjoyed A Few Good Men. You may also enjoy this, Shrek: The Final Chapter, which is about probably the worst one.
Yeah. Is there like some cast overlap? Maybe. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe Lord Farquaad is like.
Lord Farquaad isn't in that?
No, it's in the first one.
Well, that's not the first one, is it? Saul.
Oh shit!
Don't make me order a code red on you. Any afterthoughts?
I had one while we were like about to get to the last scene, but I forgot it.
Oh no.
Trying to work backwards in my brain.
Okay, we get it. You own a motorcycle.
Oh, that was his rebuttal.
Sustained.
Oh, it actually picked it up. Nice. What would you change about this movie? Oh, there we go. I just remembered. Who do you think is a better lawyer?
Oh no.
Who do you think? Kaffee or Elle Woods?
Who's Elle Woods again?
Legally Blonde.
Oh. Fuck, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Sometimes, like, I'll watch it sometimes, like, just because I like it so much. I don't know why. It's just so funny. Because my favorite scene is, like, when she's interrogating that dude. Oh, no, like, her love interest dude is, like, interrogating him, just asking him, like, bullet questions, like, quickly. He's like, and what's the name of your boyfriend? And then he, like, slips and says it. And then, like, the boyfriend pops out. He's like, oh, no, he's just a friend. He's like, you bitch. And walks out of the courtroom. But, yeah.
Who do you think?
Elle Woods. She would demolish him.
Having not seen that film,
she has a Harvard IQ.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
So, like, you've seen the movie, right?
Not recently.
Oh, okay. Let me.
I think I may have only seen it once
on like TV when it was just like randomly on. But basically, like, she's like in a sorority, and her boyfriend is gonna go to Harvard Law, you know, and so they go on a date, and she thinks he's gonna propose to her, but in reality, he like dumps her because she's not Harvard wife material, and so to like try to win his love back, she like quickly like studies for the test and like gets into the school.
It shows how easy it is to do.
No, it shows her genius level IQ.
Oh.
Even though she's a fashion major before this.
Whoa, Saul. Hey, don't be dissing the fashion majors, okay? That's about 90% of our audience.
Quite a weird demographic we have.
My only afterthought was that this was some pretty average Tom Cruise hair.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
I think my favorite is Legend.
Yeah.
Just because it goes well with the whole getup.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what you think about Mission Impossible 2 hair, because that's when he has it long again.
Oh. Look forward to that.
Yeah. So you want to get into the rating?
Okay.
Here at the Cruising Altitude podcast, we have a very special rating system. It is out of a possible 21 teeth. Saul's getting on his calculator.
How did you know?
As Saul is figuring out his score, I will read some other scores that I found online. IMDb lists this at 7.7 out of 10.
26 teeth. Whoops.
That's unnatural. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 82%. Metascore put it at 62%, which I feel like is very low.
Yeah.
And Roger Ebert gave it a 2 out of 4. Now, Saul, when I was researching reviews, I found this lovely little website that I hope to use continually in the future, which is a website where kids review movies.
Oh.
And it's like teenagers and whatnot, like 13, 14-year-olds seem like to be the primary demographic who watch this one.
Watch their like reviews be like entire essays. Like,
I've got two of my favorite reviews because one from the adult category and one from the teenager kid category.
I feel like these might be like school projects that were left up.
I'll see if you can guess which categories from which.
Okay.
Bad F-bombs. Through what? Lazy. Scripting. There's a comma between lazy and scripting.
Oh. I think that's the adult.
This should not be 16 because as it is complicated and it is not that inappropriate because there is not much swearing.
I agree.
Joke's on you, those are both teenagers.
How? Their words were so well articulated.
I did see a review where someone was like, what the fuck kind of website is this? Fucking teenagers saying that there's too much cursing? What the hell? So, out of 21 Teeth, what do you give this movie, Saul?
16 and one tooth with 20% of it like decayed. So
wow.
Is that low?
Is that because of the poison?
Yes.
I gave it 20 out of 21 Teeth. I thought it was a very good movie. Apparently you did not.
I liked it.
Wow. This is the highest I've ever rated one of these films. I didn't want to give it a perfect score because I'm not that kind of person, you know? You dig? You jive? You quit.
Mm-hmm. You good?
All right. So with our reviews, that leads us to one of the final segments where we put it in our ranking of Tom Cruise films. If you'd like to look at this ranking, just check the description of the podcast and you will find it. Currently, the top 3 are Born on the 4th of July, Rain Man, and Risky Business. At the bottom is Losing It.
Yes. And every time we add a movie, it'll just sink lower and lower into the abyss.
I can't wait until we get to The Mummy, because that has like a 16% rating. But I feel like it's gonna be better. Saul, where would you rank A Few Good Men on this list? I say it's the new number 1.
Really?
I
was gonna put it like above Endless Love and below Taps. I don't know why I like Taps so much.
Because we usually do this by how much we'd like to rewatch the film.
Yeah. Like, yeah, because I would watch Taps again just because of how crazy Tom Cruise's character was.
We really put Top Gun high up here.
Yeah, we did.
Do you think Top Gun's better than Taps? Would you like to make an amendment to the list?
Would I watch Top Gun again instead of Taps again?
Top Gun is more funny to laugh at.
Yeah.
Taps is kind of sad, but also funny because of how sad and crazy Tom Cruise is. Oh, this is getting hard.
Oh, yeah, it is.
As the movies have slowly gotten better.
No, it's a real challenge.
I say, actually, Born on the 4th of July, I don't know. Is that a better, well put together movie than this?
It is a really good movie.
It's a great movie.
Would I watch it again? Just because that one's like just straight up depressing. Like straight up. It's really good. But
it's definitely, because we don't do this by quality. We do this by how much we would rewatch it. Yeah. Fuck, this is hard. Okay.
I guess we could factor like just straight up how good it is along with like replayability, because I think like both are important.
Well, this is a better put together film than Top Gun, without saying.
Yeah. All right, how about we switch Taps and Top Gun and put A Few Good Men above.
So both. So A Few Good Men becomes number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we flip the other 2.
Number 4, and then this becomes 6, Top Gun, and then Taps becomes 5. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me update this. That's the First ever amendment to the list, ladies and gentlemen.
Da-da.
So, yeah, play the theme music. So, our current ranking is as follows. Number 1, Born on the 4th of July. Number 2, Rain Man. Number 3, Risky Business. Number 4, A Few Good Men. Number 5, Taps. Number 6, Endless Love. Top Gun became number 7.
No hate.
I'd rather watch Endless Love than Top Gun, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's such a fucking weird movie. Top Gun is number 7, followed by Outsiders at number 8.
Wait, we put Outsiders below Top Gun?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh no, poor Top Gun. Would you like to make a second amendment?
I guess we could do that some other time.
All right.
Let's leave it
Until we discover it again.
Let's see if we feel the same.
Yeah,
afterwards.
next time. Number 8, Outsiders. Number 9, All the Right Moves.
That one's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very average. Number 10, Legend. Number 11, Days of Thunder. We did not like that movie.
No.
Number 12, Far and Away.
It's probably my favorite poster.
Just because of the colors.
Just 'cause, yeah, nice contrast. But other than that, it's really forgettable.
It does not look like what the fuck is that? How is that a NASCAR poster? You can't even see the cars.
No,
They're little
that's not a
blurs.
NASCAR poster. That's a Tom Cruise poster.
What do you mean? Just because it says Cruise in giant letters on top?
Oh, yeah.
He's like the Joker with damaged on his forehead. Oh, I should go as... For Halloween, I'm going to dress up as the poster for Days of Thunder. Anyway, number 11, Days of Thunder. Number 12, Far and Away. Number 13, Cocktail. Number 14, The Color of Money. And number 15, at the bottom of the barrel, is Losing It.
Hell yeah.
Go fuck yourself, Losing It, you trash. And that is our current ranking of all 15 Tom Cruise films that we've gotten through thus far. So, speaking of Tom Cruise, I have some Tom Cruise news that I forgot I had. Here's the title. I forgot what website I got this from. I think it was the BBC. Coronavirus! Mission Impossible filming halted over health fears.
Ooh.
Filming on the latest Mission Impossible movie in Italy has been paused due to concerns about the outbreak of coronavirus in the country. Shooting on the 7th film in the series was due to take place in Venice over the coming weeks, but Paramount has halted production after Italy recorded the worst outbreak of coronavirus in Europe.
Damn.
There are more than 200 cases in the country so far, including 7 deaths. I mean, that's really not that. It's not as bad as it could be.
I feel like all of those deaths were most likely like people
It's usually
that were already like old people.
It's usually old people, young people, or people who already had a terrible illness.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, however, was not in Italy for the shoot, according to The Hollywood Reporter, but the production crew were sent home.
I mean that's fine. Like I think most people would agree like delaying it is better than like risking those people getting like,
someone fucking dying.
Someone's like on Twitter like sees that like this is bullshit. I want the movie as
Tom
soon
Cruise
as
is like,
possible.
I'll do my own stunts. I don't care what happens. Out of abundance for caution for the safety and well-being of our cast and crew and efforts of the local Venetian government to halt public gatherings in response to the threat of coronavirus, we are altering the production plan for our 3-week shoot in Venice, Paramount said in a statement. This isn't the first time the Mission Impossible franchise has been hit by difficulties. Here is a list. During promotion for Mission Impossible 3, an advertising firm placed digital devices in 4,500 newspaper vending boxes in Los Angeles. Can you see where this is going to go? Which played the movie's theme tune aloud whenever the door was open.
Oh.
Some members of the public mistook these devices for bombs.
Jesus.
And reported them to police, who in turn detonated several of the newsstands.
Oh my god.
An LA hospital was even evacuated for 90 minutes because of the apparent threat.
Jesus. They did not plan that.
I should note that I haven't read any of these. One scene in the first movie was shot outside the Liechtenstein Palace in Prague, but it turned out to be a far more expensive location than originally thought. Authorities initially quoted the filmmakers $2,000 per day, but when they turned up to shoot on the day, the team was told that the new price would be $23,200 per day.
That's some bullshit.
Like, that is fucked up. That's why you get a goddamn contract.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Cruise has performed many of his own stunts during filming, but he's occasionally been injured in the process. The actor cracked a couple of ribs while shooting Mission Impossible 3, and in 2018, he broke his ankle jumping between buildings while shooting the 6th film, the footage of which was seen in the Graham Norton show.
Oh.
Have you seen the footage? I think it's still in the actual movie. So I'm gonna show you what happens. So he's running, he jumps across a building, his foot lands like this, like it bends back against the edge of the wall, and then he falls to the ground on the roof, and he tries to get up and keep running because he cares about film, Saul.
And the adrenaline is still getting to him, so he can't even feel it yet.
Yeah, no, he didn't even know what happened. The third movie in the Mission franchise, in the Mission Impossible franchise, suffered a delay of a year after its oh my god.
Slow breaths. You got this.
Okay. After its director, Joe Carnahan, exited the project because of creative differences. Cruise was able to shoot the entire film, War of the Worlds, in the time it took for a new director to be appointed.
That sounds about right.
I don't know where this is going. In 2015, Disney announced the title Rogue One, a Star Wars story, but Paramount felt this clashed too much with their fast-approaching 5th Mission Impossible film, Rogue Nation. You know those dumbass general audience folk. They're gonna confuse Star Wars and Mission Impossible.
Right.
Disney kept their title, but agreed to hold off on promoting the film until Mission Impossible 5 was released.
That's really dumb.
Uh-huh. And finally, Mission Impossible 2, which was about the outbreak of a deadly virus, came up against horrible weather and logistical problems during city shoots, and the defection of cinematographer Andrew Lesnie to the Lord of the Rings franchise. I thought I was going to say he defected to another country or something.
He was exiled.
This is one of the most difficult movies I've ever made, said director John Woo. But we overcame. We kept fighting.
Nice.
And
very inspirational.
Thank you, movie director John Woo. All right, and that brings us to the final segment, self-promotion.
Does he do like very action-oriented movies?
Yeah, he's done like karate movies. He does the slow motion, like the doves flying in the air.
Yeah.
You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, Podbean at the Cruising Altitude Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Cruising Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Smokey's Videos, and follow Tom Cruise on Twitter at Tom Cruise. Follow us. Yeah, we are, motherfucker. Those follows better go up. Follow Tom Cruise. Follow Saul on Instagram. Hey, you should take that as a compliment. I got you confused with Tom Cruise. Follow Saul on Instagram at diosamaart. That's DIO_SAMA_art. And join us here again next month for the 1993 film The Firm.
I imagine it's another lawyer movie.
Yeah, it's about a lawyer uncovering some sort of dark secret.
No, now that I think about it, maybe like... So, like, perfect example right there. The Color of Money, Cocktail, literally the exact same plot. Literally the exact same plot. And, let's see, what else is like that?
A young lawyer joins a prestigious law firm only to discover that it has a sinister dark side.
Ooh.
And then it comes up after that is one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, which is Interview with the Vampire.
Is he a vampire?
Yes. He and Brad Pitt are gay vampires.
Really?
Yeah.
For each other?
Well, it's Okay,
Oh,
so
it's like
the way that they turn him into a vampire is that Tom Cruise grabs Brad Pitt's wrist and he starts
Ugh.
sucking on it, and
He's like, dude,
it's
I
also
had
two
a
men
little...
and a baby, but with vampires because
What?
fuck, what is her name? Who played Mary Jane Watson in the Spider-Man films? Kirsten Dunst.
Oh.
She is a child actor who was really good as a child actor. I don't know what happened when she grew up, but she becomes a vampire, and Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise basically become her dads.
Aw.
How much longer until we get
How
into the next
progressive.
millennium? Oh man. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 movies until we get to Y2K.
Damn.
But that does it for this month. You good?
Yeah.
Need to answer your call?
Nah.
No? Our sign off, which I will start this month, so Saul can fill it in afterwards. Don't
Cry.
about
Spilled.
losing
It. Don't cry about losing it.
Don't cry about spilled losing it.
All right.
As we always say here at the Cruising Altitude podcast, don't cry over.
Don't cry over.
Don't cry
cry
about.
over-
Fuck. Don't cry about. Which one are you gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say over.
Okay, let's just say over. Don't cry over. Fuck. I almost said it again. Don't cry over spilled losing it.
There we go.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your holiday, Tom Cruise holidays. Every day's a Tom Cruise holiday,
Mhm.
especially in Japan.
So tell your boss to get some paid time off.
Yeah, just tell him that you're a Scientologist, and it would be you'd sue him because it's against your religion. All right, we'll see you next month for the firm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.